Someone just paid Trump a visit. Poland. And when you have guests, you got to break out the fine china. Or if you're the president, the jets. Trump had 4 F-16s and 4 more F-35s conduct a flyover for the new president of Poland. The F-16s were to honor a Polish pilot who just died during an air show. The F-35s were more of a test drive, since Poland just signed a $2 billion contract to buy 20 of them. After the flyover, they hit up the gift shop for signed MAGA hats. The 4 more years hats flying off the shelves. This comes 2 weeks after Trump had Zelensky and the European allies in the Oval in a show of diplomatic force. The stakes are high. There was another show of force across the globe. In Beijing, Xi had some friends over for dinner. Putin and Little Rocket Man got the red carpet treatment. Modi from India was there. He hadn't been to China in 7 years, but wasn't ready to march in the parade. Xi, Vlad, and Kim wanted a little alone time. They got caught on a hot mic, and it was a little weird.
In the past, people rarely lived longer than 70 years. But today, they say that at 70, you are still a child.
Human organs can be continuously transplanted. The longer you live, the younger you become, and can even achieve immortality.
Just 2 dictators fantasizing about immortality. If you ever wondered what they talked about when they didn't think people were listening, that's it. Trump wasn't there, but he sent Xi a message. Please give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America. The Chinese leader also showed off his toys. He took Vlad and Kim to the military parade, gave them a look-see at his nuclear triad. And they even laid eyes on his robot wolves and underwater drones. CNN was downright giddy.
We're watching live pictures tonight, right now, a massive parade underway in Beijing as the Chinese President Xi Jinping is showing off his country's arsenal and military might to the world.
This is a message of strength. This is a message of victory. After all, they are commemorating the 80th anniversary of the surrender of Japan. This is a demonstration to China and the world that China is strong, it can protect itself.
Oh, CNN lavished more praise on China's military parade than Trump's. Remember?
We don't need a military parade. We don't need to spend millions or maybe hundreds of millions of dollars to do that. But we want to do it because he has to feed his inner image monster.
CNN won't celebrate our military, but they're celebrating China's victory over Japan. It wasn't China that made the Japanese surrender in World War II. It was us. Japan colonized large swaths of China: Manchuria, Inner Mongolia, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Mao won a few small battles, but it was the U.S. military that decimated the Japanese Empire in the Pacific Theater and forced their surrender with atomic bombs, too. We basically liberated their country. Have the Chinese said thank you?
I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. President Xi is a friend of mine, but I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China.
Thank yous go a long way, especially if you want to do business, and especially if you want to do business with Trump. Trump's not too happy with India either. Modi shouldn't be cozying up with the Chinese. India is a democracy, an ally, and a key player to counter China. But they've been buying sanctioned oil from Russia on the black market. India doesn't have oil, and Russia's their neighbor, so it makes sense to buy it from Putin. But they're feeding Russia's war machine and making it harder for Trump to make peace in Ukraine. So we hit the Indians with tariffs. But we've got to give them a new source of energy. The Mideast owes us after we bombed Iran and gave them AI. So they should sell oil to Modi to wean them off Vlad's teat. Vlad lost his customers in Europe. Now America's selling energy to the French and Germans. So Putin's putting down a big old pipeline to China. It's supposed to be finished next decade and supply 15% of China's energy. Russia and China are growing closer. Someone might have to bomb that pipeline like Nord Stream. Trump's not thrilled with Poot.
I have no message to President Putin. He knows where I stand, and he'll make a decision one way or the other. Whatever his decision is, we'll either be happy about it or unhappy. And if we're unhappy about it, you'll see things happen.
Now, the media says Trump hasn't done enough. The president said, I'm just getting started.
You've expressed many times your frustration and disappointment with Putin, but there's no action since you took your office. Don't you worry that...
How do you know there's no action?
But
really?
Don't you worry...
Wait. Who are you with?
I'm with Polish radio.
Okay. How do you know there's no action? Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside of China, they're almost equal, would you say there was no action? That cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia. You call that no action? And I haven't done phase 2 yet or phase 3. But when you say there's no action, I think you ought to get yourself a new job.
Now, if Putin blows off and drags out the Zelensky meeting and keeps escalating the war in Ukraine, Trump doesn't have a choice but to ramp up sanctions and tariffs, and he might have to turn the Europeans loose and add more firepower. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. The China trade deal, that's the white whale. If he captures it, it puts Xi in check, and India falls back into our lap, and we can do business with Modi. Remember, that's where Apple's setting up shop. Trump's already stopped wars in Asia, Africa, and the Mideast. He's just embarrassed that every time a world leader comes by to sign a peace deal in a Democrat city, they have to dodge bullets.
They are against preventing crime. They are fighting us. I want to go into Chicago, and I have this incompetent governor that doesn't want us. Do you know that this weekend 72 people were shot in Chicago? I'm embarrassed to say it in front of the president of Poland.
Chicago looks like Baghdad. And Trump's trying to save lives at home, just like he is overseas. Ribs won't call him and admit he needs help. Lightfoot, remember her? She's back. And she says, what warfare? Here comes the lawfare.
If he comes to Chicago, he's going to be in court. And he's going to be sued by the state, he's going to be sued by the city, and I believe that there will be private interests that also sue him. This is not about violent crime, and I don't think we should pretend that this manufactured crisis and his attempt to provoke people in Chicago is legitimate exercise of power. It is not.
There's nothing manufactured about 57 shot. I bet if the Guard were there wouldn't be so many holes in bodies. After Mayor Johnson blamed guns and Republicans, an alderman said, the joke's on you.
I'm actually quite surprised he didn't blame the Confederacy, Richard Nixon, or colonialism for why we have all the problems in the city of Chicago, because those are also his go-tos.
JB Back Ribs has been complaining about how tough this week's been. All of this negative attention, the president saying he needs to lose weight. Hegseth says, you got to be kidding me.
It's been a tough 10 days for the governor. What about the people that live in Chicago? What about the folks that live with unending violence right in their backyard with an incompetent government and mayor and governor who are unwilling to provide just basic security? So I don't feel bad for Governor Pritzker. He should be welcoming support.
Now, the Democrats have been saying Donald Trump is only targeting blue states. Why doesn't he send the Guard to red states? Well, he is.
I could do that with Chicago. We could do that with New York. We could do it with Los Angeles. So we're making a determination now. Do we go to Chicago or do we go to a place like New Orleans where we have a great governor, Jeff Landry, who wants us to come in and straighten out a very nice section of this country that's become quite tough, quite bad.
The mayor of D.C. didn't want the Guard at first, too. Now, Blue City Bowser is red-pilled. She wants the Guard to stay till Christmas. And she says she'll coordinate with law enforcement. D.C.'s going out to dinner, carjackings are down, not a single homicide in almost 2 weeks. That's how Democrats should do it. Unite with Trump. Take the credit and save lives. All it takes is a little humility. Surely if I can admit I'm wrong, Democrat politicians can too. The strategy's working so well, Trump may take Melania out for date night.
You
is it a restaurant in D.C.? You haven't gone to.
I might, sure.
You haven't gone to one in either of your terms that wasn't.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because I and many other.
Do you want me to prove you
track.
wrong? Do you want me to prove you wrong?
Yes, please.
But I will. I think it's something we could consider doing. Love to do it. I love the White House food, but after a while, I can see going to a nice restaurant. It's safe.
Trump wants to make peace so he can go into heaven. Doesn't matter where it is, Chicago, Ukraine, D.C. He just wants people to live. Remember, Democrats thought he was dead. But if Putin and Xi are right, Trump might live forever. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.